on Cricket Safari, we reflect on the match of the tournament. Incredible atmosphere here at the Dubai International Stadium. The Desert Vipers getting the second win of their tournament. The runners-up this season are back to winning ways. And Shaheen Shah Afridi and Luke Wood getting the Vipers home and getting them their second win back to winning ways. The runners-up of 2023 have had an incredible tournament. This was spectacular, this game. Joining me now on the show, Darren, Ganga, Wasim Akram and Luke Wood. Luke, talk.
We're not here to talk about Luke's bowling. We're here about Luke being an all-rounder.
Oh, steady on.
So tell us, what was going on in there, the last over?
Oh, no, me and Shaheen sort of said that just to get it to the last over for a start. And then we just said if we can be under 10 ideally. Yeah. And then it's pretty much you scamper a couple of twos and maybe get one in the gap and it's away. So luckily off the last ball we got a 3. I think it's the only place in the ground it would have been a 3.
So what was going through your mind when there was a last ball? Okay, this was probably the first ball of the over. Yeah. This is the last over. Okay, that was a white ball, obviously. Yeah. I thought that was 4.
Yeah, same. No, I think it was always just getting one away.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair to Trent, he nailed some pretty decent Yorkers in there, but yeah, I always felt last over you need 10. I mean, that's the only place on the ground you're getting 3.
Sure.
And run speed's one of my positives, so we're always going to get in. But nah, he slipped there. Oh, that's why he got shoulder.
You were quick.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I think it was just a case of hitting a gap. We thought we might get one boundary, he might miss, but he nailed his Yorkers pretty well and yeah, managed to get over the line.
I really want to ask you about the last ball of the previous over, the 19th over, because there was an opportunity to probably take 2. Yeah. What was the conversation like after that last delivery before you faced the first delivery of the final over?
I don't know, I think we both kind of said just try and get to the last over and not be 9 down, at least give yourself at least 1 wicket to play with going to that last over. So, I mean, in hindsight it worked out pretty well, but I think we'd have been kicking ourselves if we'd have been 1 short.
Well, you know, talking about that last ball and the celebration, well, 3 runs off that last ball was needed. What was going through your mind? Did you and Shaheen Shah Afridi really actually look at each other and say, what are we going to do?
Well, I mean, I thought it was either going to be a 4 or 4-6 or we lose pretty much. I never expected 3. So, I mean, when he hit it, I assumed, to be fair, it was going to go for 4, so it's good to have my skates on. But
yeah, it was a good throw as well, but your running has been exceptional there. You were quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just one of them, you just got to run until you get run out, pretty much. So that was all I think of being a non-striker, and I can't do much but run. So yeah, try and get my skates on and get back home.
That's brilliant. So you've been enjoying this ILT20?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, we've got a pretty star-packed side, especially obviously in the bowling front, being a lot of left-armers.
Especially coming from -8.
Oh yeah, can't beat here. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It's been great. The crowds have been really good this year. I felt like they've actually got behind us pretty well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like having Shaheen and Amir in the side is always beneficial for me, and I know I've really enjoyed it so far.
Well, after you guys lost some wickets in regular intervals, Shafi and Rutherford, of course, came and played that important innings. That was a crucial one for you guys.
Yeah, we obviously lost quite a lot of wickets early doors, and you're probably thinking at one point you need someone to bat for quite a while, and then the way he calculated his risks, like he didn't just try and swat everything for 6. He kind of measured his innings, and yeah, no, I just think he played the situation really well, and we needed someone there till pretty much the end to win that game. And
his experience, good play. That wasn't the best shot, but that's his game, I suppose.
Yeah, he picked his ball, and it wasn't the right option in the end, but. I think that's one good thing the coach has done.
So obviously you lost 3 out of 4. Now you won this game. How important is it for the team, momentum-wise and the confidence-wise?
Yeah, we needed that really badly. Obviously not had a great start and find ourselves bottom. So, but it's pretty condensed. Like we're not too far away from the top, and obviously these boys being top, it's good to win against them and close the gap. So we're obviously. I don't know where we sit now, but
I think you're 5 games, 4 points now, so you're up there somewhere.
So it might be mid-table or whatever. So we're not a million miles away, and hopefully can start with a bit of momentum.
I want to ask you about the batting that we've seen from your side. I mean, not the most polished, you would say, in T20 cricket, and we've seen a few changes with you know, the opening positions where your captain bats. Is it a discussion that you all have when you sit to prepare for matches, that you want to find players batting in the right positions? Because we've been talking about players like Rutherford, players like Azim Khan getting many more overs for them to impact the innings.
Yeah, I guess it's quite hard to fit everyone in. Well, no, I mean, the batters all have meetings and conversations before we come here, and they've obviously figured out game plans, and I think the order does slide depending on obviously who's bowling and matchups or whatever. So I think it's just hard to fit almost everyone into.
You kind
into
of
that
do
4
now
or
with
5.
12 people.
Yeah,
with the sub.
Especially now, you get
Yeah.
an extra batter. So yeah, I mean Shafeen batting at maybe I think it's 7, so it's probably a bit too low down for him. But yeah, no, I think we've just been a bit hit and miss. Once we click, we're obviously as good as anyone.
Because on paper, your bowling attack is the best in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean we've got an array of a different variety of bowlers. Obviously a lot of left-armers.
99% left-handers.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best way.
You share information. I mean, you came in and you picked up 2 wickets. Your bowling really put you in control of this game at the halfway stage. What's that discussion like? Is it a sharing of information across all the lefties?
Yeah, I think it's just we have game plans for each different batters, and it's just trying to execute that on the day. I mean, you try and look at the pitch and what it's doing. Obviously, they're probably on the 4th over. It's not going to swing. So yeah, it's just adapted conditions, trying to put what we've spoke about beforehand just into the game situation.
Well, Luke, I just want to say thank you for talking to us, and thank you for giving us that
Good luck, buddy.
incredible game today. We absolutely enjoyed it. Thank you, and go and celebrate with your team
Thank
now.
you.
No, he was aggressive today. Very different to the other left-armers. I mean, Mohammad Amir.
Amir was very, very impressive today. He swung the ball early on. He got the wicket with the new ball as well, and a lot of variations. Amir is one of the most experienced T20 bowlers in the world right now. He does this for living. He travels the world. He's retired from international cricket. That was his first wicket, and that to Pereira. And then he was on a hat trick as well. And in the end, imagine, look at his bowling figures. 4 overs, 3 wickets, and just conceded 26 runs. That shows how good he is.
Well, one of his unique selling points is not only that ability to bowl in the power play with the new ball, to swing the ball, pick up wickets. He's also quite effective with the older ball and getting wickets at the back end.
Especially in the last 3 to 4 overs. He's a specialist bowling in the death overs. Nowadays, you do need specialists. You can't tell someone out of the blue, hey, you bowling the last over. You have to have specific 2 bowlers who can bowl the 19th and the 20th over. Amir is one of them. He can bowl outside off stump yorkers to the left-hander, to the right-hander. He also can bowl beautifully the slow ball outside off stump wide to people like Pollard, all these guys with the big hitters like Tim David. So yeah, he has been very good.
Well, Wasim, you also have some analysis for us when it comes to the left-armers.
Yeah, we did spoke about during the commentary about top 3 left-armers in this tournament. Obviously, Bolt, then Amir we just spoke, and then of course, look at their actions. Let me talk about, if you pause here, if you look at the loading of Bolt, look at his front arm and his here, look at Amir, very similar, and look at Shaheen. His front arm is towards the umpire. Theirs is towards their left ear, and that's the big difference. So if your front arm is there, if you can play on, and then I'll just weigh the land. Look at both of them, compact, Amir and Bolt. Look at the release, and look at Shaheen Afridi's head. Their head, Amir and Bolt's head is where they're looking right at the target, and Shaheen is looking towards leg umpire, and that's why I think he's not swinging the ball. Let me explain it to you in a kind of easy action. So what Shaheen is doing, what we have seen in that particular picture, we have seen this. Amir is here, Bolt is literally here, Amir is slightly here, and Shaheen is here. So if Shaheen is here, it means he's not going to get the pivot, because this will go there, and that's not going to get the pivot. If he's here, it comes down, with that the pivot comes back naturally, and I think that's not happening. And also he's going, when he lands, Shaheen is going there instead of coming here. When he comes here, obviously then this leg will come that way, and that pivot with the shoulder, the ball will come in to the right hand. That's why it's not swinging
I guess
the ball.
what you're also saying is bowling and the action is a sequential sort of activity. And if the sequencing is not right, you get the outcome not being right in terms of his ability to swing the ball, finding the right length,
so when we
getting
talk
pace.
about aim the area you're aiming at, your head should be still and it should be here. His head is somewhere here. If you can see the whole, I mean, he's right here. So obviously from here it's not going to swing. And look at this, look at his front arm, and then if you can play it, and look where when he delivers, his front foot goes wide, and look at his head. His head is looking towards leg umpire instead of looking right there. Okay, here, and his is like this. So that's a mess. The head has to come straight, and this has to come here and front. 3 little things, but it'll take some time.
Yeah, so as you've, of course, worn that hat as a coach,
I did.
This information now being shared with Shaheen Shah Afridi, what's the drills now for him to correct that? Of course, after letting him be aware of it.
It won't be easy. I remember when I gone wider, in time, I mean, when I was over 30, 32, my front foot gone wider. I tried to come closer to the stumps. It took me about 6 months because my mind have accepted that that's where I'm going to land every time. He has to really work hard and play a longer version. Try to come close to the stumps. Yeah, try to come close to the stumps every time. When he come close, everything will follow. Every action, everything. It's difficult. It'll take time. You should put cone here in practices, the plastic cone, and try to bowl within that particular cone.
I guess that's the value of a bowling coach and video analysis and players keeping tabs on how their art is unfolding. It's so important at the international level to share information and to constantly keep working on your game. I mean, apart from his bowling today, I don't think we had any issue with his batting, of course.
I always told you he can bat and he can whack, and he did. He's very aggressive as a batter. I mean, Alan was on air when he said he got 1 ODI 50. He won a couple of games last year as a captain of Lahore Qalandars in PSL. He smashes them, but I think the next thing for Afridi to learn is that how to hit towards mid-off and extra cover. Because if I'm bowling at him, I'll just go outside off stump. Because he just goes there or there. So that's why you can practice and learn to hit mid-off and extra cover.
Yeah, it's something that we saw from Shafin Rutherford, hitting to both halves of the ground, giving himself options, offside, onside. So important, especially when you're getting a required rate of over 10s. You have to find a boundary, and sometimes it's in the areas where the gaps are, and it's not necessarily in one side of the ground.
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys. That was incredible. I'm sure all the teams want you guys back on their side, and we'll be fighting for that. But for now, we're going to take a short break. And on the other side, we're going to preview to the big game tomorrow, the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders taking on the Gulf Giants. Welcome back. The most thrilling game of the DP World ILT20. What did we witness today? The Desert Vipers. Joining me, Alan Wilkins and Danny Morrison. Yes, sir.
Crazy, wasn't it? That finish, the end, I mean, it's possibly the only place that Shaheen could have gone is where he hit it. And it came off the outside edge because they ran 3. They needed 3. Had it been 2, it would have been a super over, but Luke Wood ran fantastically. This is the last over what we're watching here. When it came to that final ball with 3 runs required, there was only one place it could have gone. But this partnership, which put on 21, got them home there. Now that, I thought it was going to be 4, but it went for 3, and Shaheen, well, it was a comedy of errors in the end. I mean, there we are. Look at that. So,
tell you what, I love the way Luke Wood, the thing of Luke Wood, I mean, these are great scenes, but Luke Wood turned that around. His running and sprinting, you were on air at the time, Al, and said, watch him turn and go almost lapped.
He did.
Well, Luke Wood knew that he was going to run the 3 because he knew that even if they'd made 2, it would have been a super over. So he said, right, we're going to go for the 3. And then Shaheen was running and trying to catch up. It was a brilliant effort. It really was a brilliant effort. And as I said, I reckon that was the only place because he carved it here and it went over there. And that's possibly the only place where the fielding captain, Nick Poor.
Ran a 3.
Yeah, they ran a 3.
Well, what a game. I feel like we're going to be talking about it for days, for sure.
We needed it. This tournament needed a close finish. We had one tonight. And I think when you look at the Vipers on paper, you look at them, you think, how could they have only won 1 out of 5? They're a better team than that. They are a better team. Tom Moody's a fantastic director of cricket, right? So, I think they're too good, and I don't think they're going to languish at the bottom all this tournament. I think they're going to get up.
Well, they did get up today, beating the table toppers in a way, My Emirates. And we talk about My Emirates batting. The first innings, their batting never really got going today.
Well, the top got blown away. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
And then, frustratingly, Mbati Rayudu, look, we know he's at the twilight of his career. And so I think when you get someone that eats up too many balls, 12 dot balls, for goodness sake, simply not good enough. And then you had Akil Hussain come in, which I found really strange. But, he took too long to get going. He was very conservative, Mbati Rayudu. And in the end, he put a lot of pressure on his teammates to finish things off.
And also Tim David, when he came in, it's too late.
Well, look, he's getting frustrated. He was padded up with his gloves on, and when he came in, well, he turns again. He can turn a game in seconds. He's one of the strongest, biggest hitters in the global game. And my question, Convi, is asking anyone, asking My Emirates, asking Danny Morrison, what on earth was Tim David doing there? Coming in so late. My Emirates, what was all that about, Danny?
Yeah, crazy. I think maybe the only thing I can put my finger on the pulse a little bit is that the left-handedness of Akil. You're trying to change it up a little bit. But I know he's capable, but you're not as good as Tim David. Tim David, that's your role, to go out and smash it. Yeah. And he's a good batter. He can actually take his time to compile and construct an innings.
Yeah, Mbati Rayudu, I'm not sure. He looked like a man without confidence. He couldn't hit it off the square. I want to ask you something. Could they have retired him?
That's starting to come into the game of T20, yeah.
Or the message should have gone on, get out, try and hit it up in the air. If you get 6, great. If you don't, you're out, and it'll bring Tim David in. But he had to do something. But he just kept doing this. I didn't understand it.
Well, but I think the most exciting part is now that the table is wide open. It gives everyone a chance in the tournament. Because the second half of the tournament, My Emirates still at the top of the table, but the others catching up pretty quickly.
Well, they are, and look at it. There's a bunch there on 4 points. My Emirates losing tonight. Sharjah Warriors, they haven't looked a great side either. So I think, honestly, Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, 2 wins. There's a Vipers 2 wins. I think it's wide open. It's going to go right to the wire. The 4 teams are going to make it. I think it's that close. Don't you, Danny?
Yeah, because it just shows you a win like tonight changes your confidence within that dressing room, and suddenly it just ignites your season. So, all those sides on 4 points, fascinating, really, because then it comes down to net run rate, as we've been talking about all along.
Well, it's definitely ignited all of that in us as well today. Everyone's got their little dancey shoes on. I know Danny's
you've always... Look at this. Look at the outfit.
You can't see the shoes.
No.
Okay, well, that's the trick. But guys, we've had the best and biggest cricket names here playing cricket on the field. But today we also had 64 young girls and the future stars that were playing cricket. And that's thanks to the Emirates Cricket Board and DP World ILT20 that gave them the opportunity. And I caught up with former UAE captain Chaya Mughal. And let's take a look what she had to say. At the DP World ILT20, you see some of the biggest cricket stars in action on the field. But today we're also joined by 64 really young and future budding stars who got an opportunity to come to the Dubai International Stadium and soak it all in, thanks to the DP World ILT20 and the league that has given them this opportunity. With me is former UAE captain Chaya Mughal. Chaya, thank you for talking to us. Today, you're here for a very special reason. Tell us about the program and tell us about these future stars training right behind us.
Well, this is all in for cricket, so why not, having girls over here who are going to be the future for tomorrow. So this is a very great initiative, I would say, from Emirates Cricket Board. And not just this, but then we have a special program called as Get Into Cricket for any female aspirant, who wants to play cricket from the very basic age, from a very grassroots level, I would say 6 years onwards. We have this program for them, which invites all of these girls to train with us under our elite coaches, and we train them at a couple of stations in Dubai and Sharjah, and this happens on every weekend, Friday and Saturday.
Tell us a little bit about Mihika Gaur. I mean, she's been a part of this program, and she got selected to play for England.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is indeed actually for each one of us. You know, I would say she has become a model for every female cricketer out here, you know, because she started her journey from here, from the same program called Get Into Cricket. We have been running this program for a very long time now, and Mahika was also a part of this program wherein she started training as a developing girl, and then, you know, everyone can see that how the progression has happened from the beginner up to where she is now. Sometimes even all of us, we decide to sit together and watch her play and support her wholeheartedly. This is a great, I would say, an example that she has set for any newcomer, you know, who are following her footsteps, you know. So this is the passage actually, this is the pathway that we have created and signed out for these girls.
Having been an athlete, I can say when I watch these young girls get an opportunity, it really makes me so happy. And I must say that the future is looking very bright when it comes to women in sport. What a beautiful initiative, Alan. Just watching those young future stars, the future of women in sport is bright, truly.
The fastest growing sport in the world is women's cricket. Women's cricket. And, you know, we've talked this week about 2 fantastic test wins for England over India and for West Indies over Australia. And we didn't mention how South Africa's women beat Australia for the first time in Australia.
Get one in there, Alan.
Yes, brilliant, Danny. Come on, Danny.
Oh, I love it. And he's...
Yeah. Great. Yeah, anyway, but we've got some great cricket coming up, haven't we?
Absolutely. Talking about great cricket coming up, the big one tomorrow, the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders taking on the Gulf Giants.
Yeah, huge. We got big Dre Russ with all his power. And, of course, we've got Carlos Brathwaite with the Gulf Giants.
Well, they're last year's champions, aren't they? Defending champs, the Giants. Yeah, look forward to it.
So when these guys get against each other, they just want to outdo each other. And so I think Dre Russ, I mean, who's just the most magnificent cricketer on his day. And Carlos is bowling beautifully, isn't he?
Oh, and he's so powerful.
Hey?
So powerful, I like him.
Yeah, look at...
Andre Russell, that man can really turn things around.
You need, honestly, outfielders are just spectators when this guy's going. He's nuts. I mean, he just hits the ball out of the stratosphere. Great. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Love
he's
it.
box office, isn't he? Yeah.
Box office, and we'll be there.
Will you, Alan?
You know what? I think I want final predictions quickly for tomorrow.
Got super over. I reckon super over.
Will you, the Giants?
Yeah.
I think we're just going to go now and celebrate today's win.
Giants.
That's all we had, guys.
Vipers.
We're exciting one today. See you guys tomorrow.
The best of the best, you know. With the best of the best, you know. The lights are bright. Just say hold a cricket festival. Honne honne re halla. Halla halla.